not sure exactly what this video is that you're watching, but future me has figured it out if you're watching it. The part of this video that I'm about to record right now is probably just going to be a portion of a bigger wedding planning video because it's not really enough to be its own video. But I just like documenting the wedding planning process because you only do go through this once. So I want to like document the things that I do because I just think it's fun. This part of the video is me talking about my little bridesmaid proposals, which is a really dramatic term for what I'm doing because I'm not doing one of those crazy bridesmaid proposal things. So anyway, that's what this part of the video is. Not sure what the rest will be, but future me has figured it out by now. So I guess I'll start with this. Our wedding is less than a year away and I have not asked my bridal party yet. Also, we've been engaged for 8 months. And I have not asked my bridal party yet. Now, I know that I'm very late to the game on this, but I have my reasons. First of all, I had a lot of trouble finalizing who I wanted to ask because I know that you don't have to have an even number, not even number, but like equal number on both sides of like groomsmen and bridesmaids. I know you don't have to, but like I wanted to. So like AJ had a certain amount that I had to like meet but not go over, and it was a thing. Also, I am just like the most unreasonably anxious and paranoid person ever. Like I just worry about everything and that's just my personality. And so like so many parts of this have been stressing me out, which is why I've been putting off doing it. But I'm finally just gonna get over that and do it because it needs to be done, because I feel like the people that I want to ask are starting to think that I'm not going to ask them, and that's so horrible. So this needs to happen now. It's December and I'm making it happen like this week. So basically, let me just talk through a couple of the things that were stressing me out for people who have never done this before, or who are in the same boat, or who are reminiscing because they've already done this. The thing that was stressing me out the most is just like the stigma around bridesmaids. I feel like especially now, I feel like it didn't used to be this way as much, but especially now there's like so many expectations. Like if you're a bridesmaid, you have to like come to the bridal shower, come to the bachelorette party, and then like you have to like, I don't know, like the bachelorette party is gonna be like this big extravagant like multiple day trip like out of town, and it's like gonna be really expensive, and like you need to buy a dress and you need to pay to get your hair and makeup done and you need to get your nails done a certain way and get certain shoes, and it's just like so much to ask of someone. And I don't care about all that stuff. I really, really don't. Like that is just, I mean, I hope that my bridesmaids that I'm asking totally agree and like know me well enough to agree that like I don't care about that stuff. Anyway, having like those expectations, like I feel like society just has those expectations and a lot of brides do follow them, which just like solidifies those expectations. I feel like because of that, I was very stressed about asking my friends who I'm planning on asking, because I didn't want them to think that I was going to be like making them do those things. So I was like, well, if that's stressing you out and it'll make you feel better knowing that they don't think that, let's just like put that on the card that I'm giving them, and like that'll be clear, like or tell them in person too. So it's like it was stuff like that like has an easy solution, but it was just stressing me out, and instead of dealing with the stress and following the solution, I just like kept stressing about it and putting it off. So anyway, that was my biggest concern, was just like I'm not planning on asking them for a big time or financial commitment. I'm saying you have to come to the rehearsal dinner because you have to rehearse, obviously, like that kind of, you can't get out of that, but like you gotta come to the rehearsal dinner the night before, and then you gotta come to the actual wedding, obviously, but like that's it. Like those are the only like dates I'm like, you have to come to those, and that's obviously not unreasonable at all. And then financially, like buy the dress, that's it. Shoes, do whatever you want. Hair and makeup, do whatever you want. You don't have to pay to get it professionally done, but if you want to, go for it. But like I'm not requiring that. Like all that stuff, I'm just like, do whatever makes you most comfortable, like looks wise and financially. Like I just want to make sure they don't think there's like crazy expectations for them. So anyway, I've been rambling for a ridiculous amount of time. So those were all the things stressing me out, but I'm just gonna be honest and upfront about it, and like here's the expectations. It's very minimal. Like I want to make sure you know that like I'm not expecting crazy things from you, and I'm not a bridezilla. So without further ado, I have my cards. I just got them printed, so I have to like cut them, but I designed them on Canva and I think they turned out really cute, so I wanted to show you guys. It says, I can't say I do without you, will you be my bridesmaid? And then on the back, I just have all the details, which I will not be sharing because it's like personal information, but I put like a little message too. So I said, your love and friendship means so much to me. I'd love to have you stand beside me on our wedding day, a little heart. And then I put, I value your presence at our wedding more than anything else. So I will not be asking for big time or financial commitments from you. No bridezillas here. Yes, I put that. And then I just put, here's what to expect. So I talked about how like all I'm going to ask them to do is buy a dress for the outfit, but like all the other things are up to them. And then the 2 dates are rehearsal, dinner, and wedding. Like that's literally it. So yeah, I put all that on here. And yeah, oh, obviously I also have the maid of honor one, which he gave me 4 of, even though I said I needed 1. So anyway, yes. So they look the same, just one says maid of honor and the rest will say bridesmaid. So yeah, I'm gonna cut these out, obviously. And then I'm also probably just gonna write like a little personalized handwritten note to each of the girls that's like personalized to them, so everyone's gonna get their own unique message. And I figured that would make it like special and personal without going like above and beyond and doing the ridiculously extravagant like bridesmaid proposal boxes that everyone does, because that's just like a lot. And again, I'm like not, that's just not me, and I think they would all agree that like I'm not like that. And that's just not my personality. Like this is more personal and just like more special to me. So that's what I'm gonna do. I hope they like it. I'm not nervous, but like I feel like I'm gonna be nervous when I do it. I'm gonna try to do it in person for everyone except for one, because one is literally across the country from me and not coming home anytime soon. So I'm just gonna mail that one. But the other 4 are within 2 hours. So they will hopefully get it hand delivered in person. So yeah, I'm gonna cut these out now and stop rambling. So my one thing I have not figured out yet is an envelope, because I just like printed these at a copy printer place here on cardstock, and they just like, they didn't have like specific sizes available, so they just put 2 per page on an 8.5 by 11. So they're kind of like a not standard size. So I don't have like envelopes for them. I'm sure I can find some that'll fit. I just have to like do that. So maybe that's like an errand I can run tomorrow. But anyway, other than that, I have it cut out. Now I have to do the personalized letters. I'm definitely not gonna have enough time to handwrite each one today, because I have plans soon and then more plans after that for like the rest of the day. But I'm gonna start planning it out, because it's gonna be handwritten, but it's gonna be typed and planned first, because I cannot write a personal handwritten note to someone just like brain to paper. Like it doesn't work that way. I have to really like sit and think it through and like be able to easily edit it and like add a sentence in the middle of a paragraph if I need to. So I'll type it up on my laptop first and then I'll handwrite it. So that's what I'm gonna start doing now, is I'm gonna start typing the little notes to each person, but I'm not gonna be able to actually handwrite them today. Probably not. I probably won't get to any of them today, but I'll at least try to get most of them typed out so I have the message that I want to write, and then maybe I can write it tomorrow or at sometime this week. 5 letters, and I managed to fit all of them on one page, like without even having to go to the back. Some of them are very crammed. I was writing very small, but I managed. And yeah, my wrist feels like it's gonna literally fall off. Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, I hope they appreciate those a little bit because I have suffered a casualty from the process. But anyway, I can like put them all together now. So just a reminder that this is what the front looks like. And I did find envelopes at Target that are like the perfect size. They're a little bit sheer. So like if you look closely, you can totally see everything through the envelope. So I'm just hoping they open it before looking too closely. Otherwise it's gonna kind of be a spoiler. I'm thinking I'll do like this first. And then like the letter will go like under it so that this is the first thing they see, but when they pull it out they'll like feel, oh, there's a letter. Check it out. I wrote their names all cute, and they all have a little heart on the end because I can't center them using my eyeballs for the life of me.
Very nice. I like it.
Very good. Are they open right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now or you die.
No pressure.
Okay. I can't open envelopes properly.
That's okay.
I'm just gonna return
Tear it
card.
open.
Yeah, I'm like my mom in that aspect. My dad can that. What? Oh! I read the word I do. Ah! Yes, I will be! Oh my god, I didn't even say anything else. Yes, I will be! Oh my god, of course! If you didn't ask me, I would be like, what? If you did, I'd be like, oh. This is so cute. Oh my god. Oh!
I know, it's kind of long.
Oh, shit! Ooh! Okay, should I read it loud? No.
By the way, I was secretly recording that, by the way.
Oh, I see.
Alright, I'm done.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's been a little bit. It has been like 2 months since the last part of this video that you saw where I was making my bridesmaid cards, and we have some updates for you. We've made quite a bit of progress in some areas and not a lot of progress in others, but I feel like that's just how wedding planning goes. So I'm back with some updates. A lot of it, all of it, I don't really have any footage from. I have photos. So I wanted to like vlog some of the stuff I'm going to talk about today, but I don't know, I just forgot to do that with like everything. So instead, I figured we'd just do a casual little chat of the stuff that we've done, and I'll pop up some photos on the screen of stuff that I do have photos of when it's relevant. So I believe the last thing you saw, if my editing self makes the choice that I think she's gonna make, is the videos of me like proposing, I guess, to my bridesmaids, aka delivering them their letters. I think there's only 2 of those. There's 5 bridesmaids total, but I only got videos of a couple of them, so you probably saw those. And now here we are. If you're wondering why I have coffee stuff in front of me, it's because I want a coffee. And so I figured I would just like make my coffee while updating you guys on stuff we've done. But there is one tragedy that I just remembered. We ran out of oat milk yesterday, and I am an oat milk lover and enjoyer. Deep in my heart, I will not drink anything else. But I also already made the espresso, and I already set up this video to make a coffee and drink it and talk. So I'm a bit torn, because here's the thing. This is irrelevant, so maybe I should just speed this up. Basically, I'm not lactose intolerant, but sometimes milk will hurt my stomach. Like years ago when I didn't decide to drink it, so I started drinking oat milk. But it's not like it consistently hurts my stomach, just sometimes. Anyway, I just like oat milk better now after drinking it for some years. We do have normal milk because my fiance drinks it, which I'm not going to start on that. But I don't know, like I could make it with that. Well, I have to, if I want to make it, I have to use that. So I guess I'll be doing that. Then like maybe I just want to drink the whole thing just in case the milk upsets my stomach. I don't know. It's so sad. Anyway, first update. I'm gonna kind of keep with the theme of bridesmaids. I got more swatches from Birdie Gray for color options. I don't know if I mentioned that in this video, but if you didn't see one of my wedding planning videos a while ago where I was talking about coming up with a color palette, there's a website called Birdie Gray. They are an online like bridal party retailer where you can send your bridal party all to one place to make sure they're getting dresses that are all gonna match. There's a bunch of them like that, but I'm personally probably gonna go with Birdie Gray. and they let you order free swatches of their fabrics and their colors so you can kind of see what it'll look like. And I had ordered 3, and I was torn on what I wanted, so I ordered 3 more. So now I have 6 options, so I'm going to show you guys those. So here's a reminder of the first 3 swatches that I got from Birdie Gray. They're very much light, neutral, airy, I feel like is the way I would describe them. So I have a champagne color and the fabric is satin. Then I have a taupe color and the fabric is chiffon, whatever that means. And then I have a pale blush color and the fabric is mesh. And basically, right when I saw these, I kind of immediately ruled out champagne. Even though it's really pretty, I just feel like it's pretty light, so it's a little too similar to a white wedding dress in my opinion. And then I kind of had it settled then to taupe or pale blush. But I wasn't like 100% sold on either of them. But I knew regardless that like these colors would probably be somewhere in the wedding color palette, even if they aren't the bridesmaid colors. But yeah, so that's where I was after my first 3 swatches. So then for my next 3 swatches that I got, I was looking into more like orangey pinks because that was one thing I was considering, and I didn't get any like that in my first batch. So I wanted to try some out in the second batch. But I feel like there weren't a lot of great options on the website. So I ended up getting these 3. As you can see, I have 2 more pink options and 1 more just neutral color. So I got one in the color almond with, again, that chiffon fabric. Then I got one in the color dusty rose in the mesh fabric. And then 1 more in the color terracotta in the chiffon fabric again. So the reason I got the almond one, obviously this is very light. I'm not using this for the bridesmaids, but they didn't have 3 more pinks that I liked on the website, so instead of just throwing in a random pink that I didn't like, I figured I would throw in a more neutral one that I could see being in the color palette just to help me kind of build out the color palette visually. So that's why I added this one in. And then, like I said, I felt like there weren't a lot of orangey pink options, so the closest I could find was terracotta, which I feel like is coming out more red on camera, but it is a little more orange. It looks like the color terracotta. I'm a little torn on this one, because it is very pretty, but it's a lot darker, obviously, and bolder than my other options, which is fine. It's kind of just like I have to decide if I want to go with that vibe instead versus what I was originally imagining. And then the other one is not really orange at all. It's just a different option of pink, which I do like a lot, and it's kind of making me lean away from the pale blush, actually, which is kind of funny because I thought I would really lean towards the pale blush, which I did for a while. But anyway. So yeah, 2 more pink options, and I am still torn. I cannot decide, and it is really annoying because every time someone asks like how the wedding planning process is going, usually their first question is like, oh, like what are your colors? What's your theme? And I'm like, could not tell you, even though we've been planning this for a long time now. So I really need to decide. I'm just so indecisive, and it's really hard to picture it all together. So that's the update on the colors. Still no decision made there. But we did make some more progress in the bridal party area of planning because we started looking at suits for my fiance AJ and for the groomsmen. So for that, we went to Men's Warehouse because we're trying to find somewhere that's a chain that could be found all over the country because we do have groomsmen that are out of the state. So we looked there. And basically what I've been envisioning for the suits is much lighter colors than like, you know, the typical like black or gray suits that you usually see. In an ideal world, I wanted to put AJ in a very light suit, like in the tan beige family of colors, like a very light beige, almost white. And then the groomsmen, maybe not almost white. Was that a little dramatic? I don't know, a very light suit. And then the groomsmen in like a similar shade but a bit darker, and that way like they're all matching but he stands out a bit more against them. The problem is we went to Men's Warehouse and we found a couple suits that we really liked the pairing of, but they were only to buy, which is really expensive, especially to ask mostly college students to do for one wedding. And we were looking to do rentals because it's much cheaper, and then they don't have to like spend a bunch of money on a suit they might not ever wear again. But the rental options at Men's Warehouse were very limited. So they only had 1 light suit in general, really, like the lightest grays they had were not even that light. So like they only really had one light suit option, and it was like a tan, and it was really nice looking, but it was their only option. They didn't have any like darker shades of tan or brown or anything for the groomsmen. So if we went with them, we would have to put all of them in the same tan suit. That is an option, and I wouldn't be fully against it because I'll pop up a photo on the screen. We kind of went through options of how to still differentiate AJ from them if they were all wearing the same color suit. And we kind of thought it'd be cool to do like almost like a monochrome look with him, with like a white tie and a white pocket square, which would separate him from the groomsmen because the groomsmen will be wearing ties and pocket squares that match whatever color I choose for the bridesmaids. So I think that would be a good option if we do end up having to go with Men's Warehouse, but we want to look and see if there are any other places we can check out. There's not a lot of chains besides Men's Warehouse, so we might look into doing somewhere around here, and there's always the option of having the out-of-state groomsmen go to a local tailor by them to get fitted and measured and everything, and then we just send their measurements over and get the suit here. The only problem with that is they wouldn't really be able to try the suit on that far in advance. So if there were any mistakes made in the alterations and stuff, too bad, because they're gonna be here like the week of the wedding, and then there's not really any time to fix it. So that's not the greatest option, but it is an option. And then we also might look at more generic places like Macy's or JCPenney instead of renting, because the cost of those suits at Macy's and stuff is probably about the price that you would spend to rent from somewhere like Men's Warehouse. So if we can find something in those places that matches what we want, that might be the best option, because then they're paying the same amount, but they get to keep the suit, and there are Macy's and JCPenney's all over. So that's another option we're looking into. Man, this is so tragic. At least it's fat-free. He used to get like whole milk, like fat, full milk, and I think that's gross. So at least he now gets, oh my God. Why does milk get crusty like that? Like, oh my gosh. I'm being really dramatic, but I just don't like normal milk anymore. Worst comes worst, I hate it, and AJ gets to drink it when he gets home from work. Can I just say, we usually do Walmart online grocery orders, and we didn't do it this past weekend. We usually do it Saturdays and then pick it up Sunday. We didn't get to it this past weekend because we were at a party on Saturday till really late at night, and we forgot to do it. For some reason, we didn't do it Sunday either. So then on Monday, AJ was doing the grocery order at work, and he was texting me like, hey, am I missing anything? Blah, 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 trying to make sure he had everything before he placed the order. And he said, do you need oat milk? And I said, yes, please, I do. And then he didn't respond to that text, which is suspicious because men never respond to texts, and if they don't respond, it's because they didn't see it, because God forbid you send them multiple texts on different subjects all in a row. So he didn't respond, but I was like, no, let me give him more credit than that. He probably got it. Just because he didn't answer doesn't mean he didn't get it, right? He did not get it. And so here we are, drinking normal milk. Okay, next update. In addition to looking at groomsmen suits, we also started looking into wedding bands, and I feel like AJ kind of has a good idea of what he wants. I personally don't. I have no idea what I'm looking for. So we went to Zales, which is actually one of the places we looked at when we were doing like engagement ring browsing. My ring is not from there, but we went there to look at wedding bands, and I found some. They were okay. I'll put a picture of them on the screen. It's it was hard to take a photo of them in there with like so much light and shadow and everything, but I got a decent photo. So I found a few that I liked, but I still didn't love any of them, and I'm not really sure what I'm looking for still. I'm leaning towards something that can kind of like go up against, like the ones that kind of curve, that can go up against the bottom of my diamond, because I have the pear-shaped diamond, so it would kind of fit in there. But I don't know. But yeah, we did that, and I have this like fantasy of going to Washington, D.C. just to go ring shopping, because where he did get my ring from is like an online retailer, and they only have a couple in-person locations in the country. one in New York City, which is where we were going to go when we were there, until we realized that the one in New York City is literally just like a diamond shop. Like, they don't have bands, it's just diamonds, and we don't need those. So couldn't go there. We found out that the one where they have a lot of bands, especially like if you want to look at wedding bands, is in DC. So I've been saying I want to go back to DC because I've been once in my life, but I was really little. I was in elementary school, so I feel like I didn't have a full appreciation of it at that age, and I feel like I would now because it's just so cool and historical, and I want to go back like at this age. So I'm like making excuses like, well, we should just go so we can go to DC, and then we can also look at rings while we're there, and then it'll be easy to see them in person because it's just hard to picture the ring with yours when you're just looking at a website. Anyway, that was a little tangent. We're probably not gonna go, but I want to. I think it'll be fun. Okay, and I think the last update I have is we did our engagement photo shoot, which was actually a while ago. It was in December, so it was shortly after I filmed the first part of this video. Hi. We had our engagement photo shoot today. We're freezing because it's cold out, but we have our fits on.
Look.
And look, yeah, we got a few Polaroids, but we have to wait for the rest of the photos. Oh, so cute!
Wow, how cute.
So that's a sneak peek at the vibes of our photos. But yeah, it went well and it was so fun, and we got really cute photos. And yeah, it's December 18th, 2023.
Sure is.
And I just wanted to document it. I don't know what video this is going to go in, but we'll see. So yeah, that was in December, and we got our photos back last month in January, and they're so cute. I love how they turned out. Our photographer's amazing. I'll put some photos on the screen. So yeah, that was really fun to get back, and it was a fun time. Like, I thought I was gonna hate it because I am not a photo shoot person. I don't like really, modeling in front of a camera, which is funny as I'm talking to a camera right now for YouTube, but this is different because it's like a casual conversation. I'm not good like posing for a photo shoot, so I thought I was gonna hate it, but it was fine because I had AJ there. It's not like I was alone, so I was just posing with him, and it was very natural, and yeah, it was comfortable. Our photographer made it really comfortable, so yeah, that was a lot of fun, and the photos turned out really cute. So yeah, those are like all the updates I have as of now. So then kind of moving forward, the next stuff we need to work on, we need to find a videographer. As I said, we have a photographer, but we don't have a videographer, and that part is really stressing me out because I just am so picky. Like, I majored in film production in college. I just graduated, and that means that I know a lot about film and videography, and I'm very particular about what I'm looking for, which makes it really hard to find someone because I'm very picky and very specific about what I want. So that's really hard, but also like the best videographers are so ridiculously expensive. So yeah, that is really tough. But that we should probably secure soon so that we do get a good one. And then I also need to finalize the color palette because it has just been far too long without definite colors. But I think my next step with that, I'm gonna start looking into florists for all the florals because I'm thinking, obviously, like, your color palette needs to be taken into consideration when you're picking out your bouquet. And I feel like if I reach out to some potential florists about their flowers and stuff, maybe I can ask, like, hey, I'm considering colors like this. Do you have any examples of bouquets you've done with this type of color palette? And then I can see it more visually because that's the thing I'm struggling with is just visualizing it. So I feel like that would be good. And then maybe that'll help me make a decision on the colors. So that's another thing, is reaching out to florists. And then with finalizing colors comes like finalizing bridesmaids and groomsmen's outfits. So that definitely will fall into place after we pick out a color palette. But yeah, we need to keep looking at suit options. And then, we have to call our venue and schedule like the tasting and the design meetings. So the food is done through our venue, so we'll have to call them and schedule a tasting to like taste the menu options and pick what we want to eat at our wedding. And then we also have to schedule the design meeting because they do a great thing where they provide all the decor and you just have to go like put it all together and pick it out. So that's going to be really fun, I think. We just have to call and schedule those. But I need to go into that knowing the color palette 100% because otherwise I'm not going to know what to pick for the decorations. So yeah, those are all the like next steps coming up. Yeah, and also all the updates that I just gave you. Shall we try this real dairy milk latte? It looks extra dark today. Like, I think maybe I made a little more espresso than usual. It's just not the same. Like, genuinely, it tastes different. I'm not just saying that. Like, it actually tastes different without oat milk. And I don't vibe with it. Yeah, we'll see if I actually drink this. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I know it was kind of random, but I feel like there's so many little steps throughout wedding planning that like are kind of small decisions that have to be made that I'm not really gonna like make separate videos for all of them. So I figured this was a good way to do it, just kind of cram a bunch of the stuff we've been doing lately in one video. If you are also planning a wedding, cool, good luck. I hope that it's going well for you. And if you're just here because you wanted to watch what it's like to plan a wedding, this is what it's like, I guess. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, comment a bride emoji and a groom, I guess. Is there a groom emoji or is it just like a generic dude in a suit? It's probably just that. I don't know. Comment what you find in your emojis. And thanks for watching and subscribe.